So in this video, I want to get a little bit more comfortable with functions. So let's say we have the function f of x equals x minus 4. So let's discuss what this exactly means, and let's go ahead and graph this afterwards. So f of x, which is the output, is equal to any input x minus 4. So any input x minus 4 is our output. So now let's get a little bit less abstract with that. So let's say we have f of, we're going to keep it lowercase f. Let's say we have f of 1. So f of 1 is our so 1 is our input. So we go 1 minus 4, which equals negative 3. And negative 3 is our output. So output, input. And the relationship is described as subtracting 4 from the input. So now let's try and graph this relationship. So once again, very similar to graphing lines, we can make an XY chart. And in this case, we're going to call it an x and an f of x chart instead of an xy chart. So we call it an x and f of x. So in this case, once again, f of x is basically the same thing as y. So x and f of x. So let's plug in certain values. So this is our function right here. So let's plug in 0 for x. If we plug in 0 for x, what do we get? So our input is 0, our output is negative 4. So let me label this. So this is input. This right here is output. All right, so from here, let's do a couple more points. Let's plug in 2. If we plug in 2 here, we get 2 minus 4, which is negative 2. So 2, negative 2. And for any value or for any input, we get one output and only one output. There's only one unique output that we're able to get, and that's what makes this a function. Let's do one more point. So 3, if we plug in 3, we get 3 minus 4, which is negative 1. All right, so we're ready to graph this. Let's draw our x and y axis. So that's our x, or in this case, we're just going to call it f of x instead of y. Again, basically the same thing. So now let's just plot our points. So we have 0, negative 4. Actually, let's label this a little bit. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. 1. Again, this is not to scale really, but it will do the job. So negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. Okay, so let's plot our first point. So our first point is 0, negative 4. Okay, so we have 0, and we go down 4. So right here. Our next point is 2, negative 2. So we go to the right 2, and we go down negative 2. So right here. And our last point is 3, negative 1. So we go to the right 3. So 1, 2, 3, and down negative 1. So about right there. All right, we're ready to draw the line through it now. So let's go ahead and do that. And we are done. So we just visually represented the function f of x equals x minus 4.